So we are going to get this game going for you as soon as it is done loading. And as you can see, there's SuperNova. It's so funny. I've been casting this guy playing games for like a year and a half now.
Yeah.
And it's
of
funny.
course,
He looks older.
well.
He looks older to me now.
That's true. You know,
than he did back then. He's growing up.
He was by Sarah in StarCraft 1, man. He's been around forever.
He's old school. All right, let me get these tabs up. All right, up one game, now centered on my screen. Give it up for this awesome Terran player who beat MC in game number 1, SuperNova. In the upper right, the favorite going into this, a champion 3 times of the GSL, and a champion of IEM. Give it up for MC.
All right, so now we just wait and see. Most likely MC will just do a 1 gateway expansion. I mean, of course, he could go for Nexus first if you wanted, but normally as Protoss, you're always going to expand pretty quickly. It's pretty rare to see anything else. Sometimes a 4 or 5 gate gets mixed in there, but they aren't as powerful as they used to be.
And, you know, I've said this a couple times already, but I think this is the best StarCraft 2 map to date. It's very balanced. It is. It allows for a lot of different kinds of play. Do you actually, Artosis, just questioning, do you prefer 4-player maps or 2-player maps, or do you even have a preference?
You know what? I don't really have a preference, but I do like forced cross spawns on 4-player maps. Because as we've found, you know, it can be harder for one race to the other on certain 4-player maps if you spawn too close to each other.
Yeah, generally speaking, if a Zerg it spawns too close to one of the other 2 races, Terran or Protoss, you're just going to have a hard time expanding. It's very tough. So I agree with you. I think those are great.
Little mistake by MC on his geyser. He actually
oh
sent 4
my
probes.
God, are you serious?
Yeah, that is not a common mistake, but definitely one that costs you. That's 1 less probe. It's as if he's lost a probe at this point.
And, you know, at this level of play, that really does matter.
Yeah.
Think of all the minerals each time this probe brings back a mineral. Imagine that's just not happening right now, because you don't get anything from having the extra probes on the gas.
That's right. And with MC, you know, he plays so much, obviously, being one of the best players in the world, that when he goes down to make his Nexus, he's going to be a few minerals short and get a little bit confused for a moment.
Well, MC, you know, he's played so much that he's actually probably already wondering, why does it feel like I'm a little bit behind here? And you know what I'm talking about when that happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm supposed to be at, you know, X amount of minerals for some reason. It feels a little off.
And
my
in
build.
fact, he just fixed it, as you mentioned that, Tasis. Good call there.
3 probes there. So I figured eventually he probably would detect that something's wrong. That's got to be annoying, though. Already down 1 game. Now, an almost inexcusable mistake for a pro gamer to make. 4 probes on gas.
Well, in the meantime, SuperNova doing very well with his economy, going for the good old quick command center into double racks and double gas. We'll have to see if he wants to tech up viciously or if he wants to just, you know, chill on Marines a little bit more. But with that double gas timing, expect 2 racks into starport. You know, he'll start stim when he can, so that he can actually move around on the map pretty soon.
And the command center will now land here. And mule dropping will begin shortly here. Note that he's moving out here on the map with these Marines. He wants to make sure there's no hidden pylons. Some of these good players, they'll just hide a pylon in the first 3 minutes of the game, just because in case they can't get outside of your base later on. They'll have something there later if they want to do some kind of a push.
Yeah, and it can spot random things as well. You never know. So, as of right now, everything looks completely standard. It's pretty impossible to actually, you know, guess what's going to go on. Will MC go straight into robotics or double gate? Well, he just answered it for us, going into that double gate. Very likely, though, that we'll see robotics right after.
A little bit of an engagement here.
Oh.
And one stalker does go down. You cannot afford to lose the stalkers. The Marine's much more expendable.
Yeah.
And nice job by SuperNova. He's going to control this little location over here in the smoke tower. So the stalker can't really engage.
And I mean, you don't make stalkers in the early game. You make 1 or 2, really maximum, unless you're doing some sort of crazy all-in. Or, of course, like a really quick blink stalker. But that's kind of a rough loss. You know, to have 2 stalkers out there, you really want to control the map and do maximum damage. But to lose one that quickly, ew.
A robotics facility is on the way. Again, very, very standard builder. We've seen this build a lot, actually, today. And it looks like we are now going to see a starport with a tech lab. So is he going to make another tech lab over here is what I'm wondering, if we're going to see some kind of 1-1-1 style play.
I think we're going to see Cloaked Banshee again. You know, it worked out very well last game. This is a little bit further away, though. So
yeah, I feel like this is a less dramatic. Yeah, this is exactly a less dramatic version of game number 1. But I feel like, yeah, the Banshees aren't going to be as effective because they don't have that close proximity.
That's true. But at the same time, does MC expect Cloaked Banshee twice in a row? Probably not. And also, this is a great map to, for instance, go for a quick 3 Nexus into, let's say, Charge Zealot or Blink. So there's always the chance that MC's like, I don't need them.
Ooh. Sentry goes down.
Oh,
man, SuperNova is just winning at everything in this whole series so far.
Isn't he, though? He's even getting a 3rd base during this, knowing that the Banshees will at the minimum keep his opponent in his base for a bit.
All right, so let's see. He's probably going to hide the Banshees. No, he's going to send them right out.
It's a long drive, Tasteless. Got to get going.
And the Observer, we have, one Observer out, but he's going to get there right before this Banshee is going to get to his base. So, is there another Observer on the way? Let me see here. Yes, there is. It's now out now. So this shouldn't do the same kind of damage it did in game number 1.
It definitely shouldn't. He's much more ready for it this time. And, in fact, the Stalker's already there.
And
with
one probe kill, not enough to pay for itself. It's going to go ahead and leave. 2 probe kills, still not enough to pay for itself. And now I think that Banshee's actually going to be stuck in this location on the map.
Yeah, it might
if he's not careful. We're stuck in the upper right.
But the Stalker's went in the wrong direction. The Observer is in here, so a few extra kills here for SuperNova, and he'll escape to the north.
And, wow, SuperNova. This guy is something else. Meanwhile, the factory not being used to make factory units, but instead to make add-ons for the other barracks that are coming through here.
Yeah. Well, SuperNova is just being so greedy, man. I love it. He's going for a Raven and double eBay, still harassing with the Cloaked Banshees while taking his 30s, doing absolutely everything at once.
The Observer's coming, but this Banshee will 100% escape. In fact, probably even, almost unscathed. The Observer now MCCs. He's even more behind in that way, too. Another command center. Nexus just now finishing. Let's see here. The probe count, all right, 53 to 57. So SuperNova with a lead, but nothing as anywhere near as dramatic as that previous game.
The add-in mules, in fact, he's 3rd base, finished before MCs. Pretty decent for him. We do have for MC the Templar Archives coming up, as well as Blink and a bunch more gates. But the problem is he has no forges yet. So either he's going to hit some sort of swift timing here, or he's got to put those forges up right away to play a long game against SuperNova.
A frustrating thing here, he has set this Observer up here in the upper right, because if he leaves this Banshee alone and let's say he moves out to attack again, this Banshee could come out and kill even something like 10 probes. Putting him even more behind. Meanwhile, the other Banshee coming in here. Again, just not enough Observers here.
Oh, that's pretty painful indeed, Tasteless. In fact, killing a lot more probes than I thought.
How many workers killed is this?
16 so far.
Oh, my God.
That is pretty awesome, actually, for SuperNova, especially considering MC scouted it before any Banshees.
It's going to get worse. Make it 17, 18 kills now.
Well, MC is adding a couple forges, realizing that he's going to have to go into a long macro game here. He's got Psystorm about halfway done. Zealot Charge on the way. He's already got some High Templars out as well.
And you know what? Because the Observers have all been forced back here, he's not going to know about this drop coming up here.
You're completely right,
Oh, my God. And so many Stalkers
brilliant.
Forced in here. He could put up a point defense drone, and the Stalkers are going to be completely worthless.
That is right.
And
here we go. SuperNova doing a huge Doom drop here in the main base of MC. How much damage can he deal? Look at this. The charge upgrade going to be taken out. That's absolutely huge. But Psystorm is done, so MC's few High Templars here can deal a ton of damage.
And now storming here on this army. He's going to go run for it. And he's just going to keep attacking. If he gets this cybernetic score, that means no more Stalkers for the time being. And goodbye.
Ooh, he does get it. But will his medevacs actually make it out of here? Looks like his
right.
Raven probably will not.
The Raven definitely will not. And this is kind of weird because now the giant chunk of the Terran's army is just stuck up in the upper right.
Nope, it's just going to fly out.
All right, he's going to move out. And you know what, man? He's going to get out. Meanwhile, an attack over here. My God, I can't even keep up with this. Taking out the Nexus.
So good by SuperNova. What the heck, Tasteless?
SuperNova is just dissecting everything in MC's base.
Oh, and then there's a Banshee in the natural killing every probe. And also a Banshee in the main killing every probe. Okay, SuperNova, you badass you. He's killed 42 workers at this point.
This is the most dominant play I've casted in this tournament.
2 observers and MC cannot catch everything SuperNova is doing right now.
Meanwhile, SuperNova just now finishing up his 5th base, which he's going to get running. SuperNova staying the way that SuperNova plays, pushing out constantly, being aggressive. 2 base here. Actually, have 1 base because there's not even a Nexus here yet. It's on the way. So 4 base against 1 base. 101 supply to 164. Jesus, SuperNova.
And SuperNova's actually moving across the map now, Tasteless. He's still sending dropships absolutely everywhere. MC, I don't think that he has enough to hold on here.
Look at the production tab up here. See how much SuperNova's making compared to MC. It's insane.
That's right. And during this attack, there is a drop in the main base, of course. Why wouldn't there be? Also, well, I guess nothing else also, but also he's owning him, Tasteless. This is absolutely gross.
Yeah, he is just dominating him here, taking out the assimilator. And does he have enough Templars? Let me see here. What is the energy on these? No, he's going to just make them to Archons because he does not have enough energy. Meanwhile, the Marines and Marauders coming here, closing in. This army has to stay here in order to defend. The Archons warping, and the Archons never really able to be used. They disappear as they spawn.
GG.
And that does it. GG.
I can't believe my eyes, Tasteless. SuperNova so far has been the most impressive player I've seen here today.
I know. And we've seen some pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah. Just immaculate play, destroying the Intel Extreme
That's
Masters
one of those
2012
games.
champion.
If you said, all right, this is SuperNova, I'm going to hide the other player's name, watch the game, and at the end, guess who it was, I would never have guessed that was MC he was playing.
Oh, of course. Well, he can rip apart anybody with play like that. He is going to be perhaps the man to beat here this weekend.
Phenomenal stuff. You know, he really raised the bar there. Damn. SuperNova. I thought it was going to be 2-1 MC, maybe 2-0. No, it was 2-0 SuperNova.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, he's just in tip-top shape, man. Best form ever. And I bet you he just wins that group, gets seeded really deep into the bracket. I mean, who is going to actually stop this guy?
You know, I don't know. You know, there's a period of time where we were saying at the GSL that SuperNova had the best TVP. In the world.
For sure, he did.
Then we were like, nah, some other players picked it up, and we're looking great. Okay, that looked like the best TVP in the world back there.
Oh,
the fact that the guy has 2 observers in his base, okay, and he only has 3 bases, and the fact that he can navigate 2 Banshees cloaked at the same time while doing stuff at home, like building an army and dropping mules.
And expanding.
And
upgrading.
And he kills a bunch of probes, and then the Banshees don't die. And then he actually managed to keep him alive so well that then the drop comes, and he brings him back again. MC never caught a break.
No, and, well, I mean, SuperNova, is he just going to take the tournament, Tasteless?
I don't know. I haven't casted enough of his games here, but he looks great. It's not what I normally cast at GSL Code S.
It seems like he has renewed vigor since joining up with MTW.
Well, let's go and just talk to SuperNova right now. Jared, let's go ahead and throw it to you for an interview.
Versus MC. I'm standing here with the winner, SuperNova. You just broke my heart, man. You've just managed to do what other people can't seem to do, which is to handily defeat MC. Do you think that because you were teammates for so long that you have a special insight into his play?
네, 민철이는 스타일을 많이 알고 있어서 제가 상대하기 좀 쉬웠던 것 같고 민철이가 좀 너무 노멀하게 게임했던 것 같아요. 그래서 쉽게 이겼던 것 같아요.
Well, actually, I mean, he knows the style very well because they were teammates for so long, and he thinks that like he prepared something special, and the strategy that he prepared for, it went through easily.
Yeah, very easy. Are Cloak Banshees imba?
클록 벤치 계속 할 건지 그냥 말하는 거지.
그냥 알아도 뭐 그냥 대놓고 해도 못 막으니까 계속 할 생각이에요.
But actually, I could even show him that I'm doing cloak benches every time. It's going to be still hard for him to defend it.
So yeah. Well, that was unbelievably well played. And I think at 6-0 in this group, and that's you coming into the tournament and really, really impressing everyone, I think that puts you maybe as the favorite to win the tournament. You've shown unbelievably strong play. How do you feel about your chances?
지금 여기 와서 조에서 지금 3승 0패잖아. 그래서 얼마나 너 여기 아마 우승할 자신 있는지 여태.
이번 대회를 위해서 많이 준비했기 때문에 이번 대회 우승하는 것이 목표고 자신 있습니다.
Well, he prepared a lot for this tournament, and he came here to win this tournament.
Unbelievably well played. Congratulations. Good luck in next round.